Okay, and everyone say a big hello.
Hi. Big hello.
A big hello. Hello, hello. I'm just making sure you guys can be heard. I'm just trying to check. The intro credits aren't working. Excellent. This is a thing with...
I have that problem a lot.
Can't hear you, Wolfgang. Are you mine?
Okay, and hello there, everyone out there in internet land. Welcome to the Village of the Damned. Welcome to Revenge of the Werewolf. So, audience, as always, if you've never seen this show before, we will guide you through the proceedings. But the first thing I want to do is direct your eyes down to the notice board at the bottom of your screen. You will see it says audience, give us your thoughts. Throughout the show we're going to ask you for your input because you are going to have to help save us from the curse of the werewolf. As you can see, there are several people, one of which may be missing. Are we missing someone? I think I know who it is. Dave the dealer has nipped off somewhere. He'll be joining us again shortly. But you see all of the performers on the screens before you. We're going to meet their characters. In a moment, one of them is going to find out that they are in actual fact a werewolf. And then we're going to need your help to help us work out who that is. So, before we get going with any of this, let's just check the comment section. I can see several people are saying hello in the comments. So, hello there. Hello, Lizzie Gill. Hello, Janie Doodle5 on Twitch. Hello. Speak to us throughout. Give us feedback. Give us your thoughts on who you suspect of being a werewolf. Let's meet our cast of characters, starting with Holly Jolly. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Holly Jolly, and my favourite season is Christmas. Did you know, boys and girls, that it's 112 sleeps till Christmas? I've been living in this village all my life, and I pack the presents for everyone every year.
Okay, thank you very much, Holly Jolly. Next up, we're going to come to Sister Helen Highwater. Hi, Highwater.
Hi, my name's Helen Highwater. I live in the convent here in the village, and I serve Jesus. That's my job.
Okay, so next up, let's meet Dave the dealer. Dave, what are you dealing today?
Alright, people, Dave the dealer here. There's nothing I can't get. There's no one I can't serve. There's no deal better on earth. Dave the dealer, know what I'm saying?
Okay, next up, we are going to meet Polly Pickett. Hello, Polly.
Hey, yeah. I'm Polly Pickett. I'm a labor organizer, and so far I've started 3 unions in the village.
Amazing. Next up, we are going to meet Babushka Vita. Hello, Vita.
Hello. I have Babushka Vita. I've lived in village whole life. I have 7 children. Only one left in village is Dave Dealer. He's great disappointment to me. That's why I look like this.
Yes, I feel like we may have met one of your other children a couple of weeks ago. We always have a strong Eastern European connection in this village. But next up, Tobias Bloodsworth. Say hello to the people.
Hi, I'm Tobias Bloodworth. I'm 10. I'm 10. I really love my mommy and daddy. I like my mommy more, though. There's been a lot of daddies. But yeah, I'm Tobias, and I like to read. I like cartoons.
Okay, next up, we're going to meet Janine Flowers. Say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody. I'm Janine Flowers, and I own the local, well, the only flower shop in town, and I run it with my best friend Fred. And we're just happy to be in this town. This town is the best town that we could have ever asked for. Everything's flowery.
Okay, so lastly, but certainly not leastly, let's meet Danny Osborne.
Hello, I'm Danny, but most people call me Oz. I am one of the local yobs who runs amok around the village. Currently, I'm a bit of an urban explorer.
Okay, so lastly, in fact, I will introduce myself. My name is Wolfgang van Talbotsky, and I will be overseeing the hunt for the werewolf, because as you may suspect, one of the people here is not who they claim to be. Just to clue you up a little bit about how things are going to work, the show is going to proceed from night to day cycles. During the night, I suspect one of these people will be afflicted by the full moon you see behind us, and they will become a wolf, hungry for the blood of a victim who they will choose, and then during a day cycle we will do what we can to uncover who is the werewolf. You will see on the right hand side of your screen there are 4 bottles. There are 4 protection spells. During a night phase, one of the characters we have met can send me a message to say protect me. If the wolf tries to kill them, they will be protected. They can also use a protect me spell during the day if they feel they are about to be executed. And there are only 4 protection spells to go around until we have caught the wolf. So, with that said, I can see that day has turned to night. Day has turned to night, so if everyone can stop your videos, it's time to go to bed. So everyone, just settle down. We can see that it is getting very sleepy here, but with this D8 dice that I've got here, I will roll now, and I will find who is, in fact, the werewolf. So, someone has now been cursed with the mark of the beast, and I'm about to send that one person a message to let them know that they are, in fact, the wolf. If you receive a message from me telling you that you are a wolf, do not reveal that out loud. Do not reveal that. Performers, this is your protection. You have to protect this with your life. Someone has now been assigned as the wolf. Now, in a moment, we are going to go back to the day phase, but I'm going to give this brief opportunity. If anyone wants to use a protection spell, this is the time. And wait, I feel it's getting darker. Okay, I can see some daylight outside. Wakey, wakey, everyone. Come on back. I can see that... Oh, hang on a second. Hang on 1 second. The wolf has been a little bit lax there. That was the time period for the wolf to choose a victim. The wolf did not successfully choose a victim, and I can feel that night has come back. So everyone, cameras off. Camera's off. I'm so sorry. During that phase, I was expecting to get some information. The wolf has confirmed that they are the wolf. But now, wolf, please, do not be a drunken wolf. Do not stumble about in the dark. If you're going to do any naughtiness and kill someone, that was your opportunity to do it. So, okay, I see that once again, day has risen. Wow, we're on to our second day and already no one had died. But everyone come back, wakey, wakey. And unfortunately, we've made a mistake. There's a little bit of a blooper reel going on here. Because the werewolf, you need to message me and me alone. And it's gone out to everyone.
Oh, well.
So, I think, would anyone like to accuse
It's
someone
Dave
of
the
being...
dealer. It's Dave the dealer.
Dave the dealer,
Dave
you
the
are
dealer.
about
I
to
got
be
my first
executed.
idea.
Alright.
Right.
Very
Start
clearly
again.
Sister
Start
Helen.
a new game. I apologise to everyone. That is
Alright.
so
I
far.
didn't see the message come through. Okay, it went through to everyone.
Right, well, that was good.
Who would like
Right,
to
that's good.
execute Dave the dealer?
Everyone.
Yeah,
I would, I
would.
Okay,
Game.
everyone, like, take him on. He's
Improv is
dead.
about making mistakes, and I haven't made any.
Not in this game, though, JJ. This kind of
Yeah, all right.
important.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Ellie. Thank you.
Dave the
Very happy
dealer,
fail.
you have been caught on the first round, so that is a new record there. But, audience, that is not the end of the show. That is not the end of the show. The last
Oh my God,
2
that's
weeks,
so funny.
the last 2 weeks for anyone who's been watching, will see that the wolf last week especially was able to go the distance and defeat all of the villagers. This week, every villager lived first round, but unfortunately,
Yeah, very lucky
100
for Bayern.
years later, the descendants of the villagers you just met, all named after their great-grandparents, so they have the exact same names and likeness, are once again in the village. And I can feel that night is coming back. And with a roll of the dice, let's find out if we have someone. I have rolled the dice, and there is a new person selected. I have selected again. Tobias, if you can stop your camera. This is going well tonight, isn't it, guys? Okay, I have rolled the dice again. And let's have a look. I have got someone here. So, I'm going to message just the werewolf very privately. Just the werewolf very privately will now get a message. So, would the person who is the werewolf make sure they private message me? Private message to Wolfgang van Talbotsky. Who you would like to kill. Okay, so werewolf, make sure you private message me every time from this point onwards. Everyone should only private message me. There's nothing needed in the open chat. But I can see that once again, daytime has struck. Everyone come back. 100 years of the anniversary of when we caught Dave the dealer as the wolf, and now the descendants 100 years later. All 8 of you were alive last night, but unfortunately one of you is now dead. From beyond the grave, I'm going to try to establish a connection with this person. But before we do, there is some very dark magic, and I can tell that someone else has been cursed. And the person who has been cursed today is Holly Jolly. Holly Jolly, for the remainder of this day, you will only be able to communicate in statements. You will not be able to say any sentence that could be deemed as a question. If you attempt to break this curse today, you will be cursed with silence for the rest of the day. So, Holly Jolly, you have been cursed with speaking in statements only. But unfortunately, I need to break the news to you all that during the night, Janine Flowers was murdered. Janine Flowers was killed by some hideous beast. There were teeth marks and blood everywhere. We believe the curse of the werewolf has returned. From beyond the grave, Janine would you like to make a short statement to the rest of the villagers, please?
Yes, this is so unexpected. Oh man, the werewolf must really hate me and Fred. Oh, it's terrible. I just remember locking up my flower shop and that was it.
Yes. Well, we will mourn your loss. We will mourn you, Janine Flowers. But don't worry, we are going to attempt to catch who is the werewolf from this point onwards. Having a look at the comments, I will say, audience, if you look down to the notice board, I'll say ask questions. Ask specific questions to some of our characters, and we will ask them questions throughout the show. I see that Hugh on YouTube says, good evening, guys, and says, damn these time portals. Yes, I agree. But now we'll go around and each of our characters will get the opportunity to ask one question to someone else. Starting with Holly Jolly. Who would you like to ask a question to? Remembering that you cannot actually speak any questions, which is interesting.
I wish to speak to Polly Pickett.
You wish to speak to Polly Pickett. Do you have a question for her?
I have a statement, which is, you have created too many unions. You did not like Janine Flowers. She had her own union, and you were not invited.
Ooh. Do you have any response to that, Polly?
Never break up a rival union, even if it was a rival.
Okay, interesting stuff. Next up, we're going to come to Sister Helen Highwater. Do you have a question, and if so, who is it to?
I do. I have a question for Tobias Bloodworth. Tobias, where are your parents?
Oh, they're in their room upstairs. They're upstairs right now.
Okay, next up, we're going to come to Dave the Dealer. Dave, do you have a question? If so, who is it to?
Yeah, I have a question to Mum.
Yes.
Mummy Vita. Who exactly is my dad?
Your dad, let me.
Stop using all your hands. Stop using your hands.
I'm not using my hands. I can count and pass.
Okay, next up, Polly Pickett. Do you have a question? If so, who is it to and what is it?
Ooh, yeah. I want to ask what building is this you're exploring right now? I don't believe I've ever seen it before.
Sorry, who was your question to?
Oz.
Oh, me.
Danny.
Oh, this is...
Don't have a nickname if you're not going to answer to it, Danny.
I didn't hear a name, if I'm honest. I'm sorry. I'm just, I heard about the terrible news about what happened to poor Janine, so I thought I would snoop around at, a warehouse and just see if there's, any clues that might, get around.
Okay, interesting. Next up, let's come to the Babushka Vita. What's your question?
Bias. Little boy.
Yes.
Not question. Stop coming to feed my donkey. You make him sick.
Do you have a response to that, Tobias?
But we're friends. You didn't take away my friend?
Don't like you.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry, it's not question.
Yes, no, I understand. Next up, from Beyond the Grave, Janine, do you have a question? If so, who is it to?
I'm not a mean-spirited person, but I noticed that every time I passed Sister Helen Highwater, she always had a little scowl for me, and I've been nothing but nice to her. And me and Fred have always, offered, a flower, for the congregation, but she's always been so nasty. Maybe why so nasty, Helen? Sister Helen? Sorry.
Well, personally, I think you're mistaking my scowl for my normal face. I just have what others outside of the church would call a resting bitch face. I'm sorry, Jesus.
Okay, last up, Oz. Who would you like to ask your question to?
Yeah, I would like to ask a question of Dave, if I may.
Dave the dealer, yes. Go for it.
Yeah, so I heard that, with Janine, with her untimely demise, you're going to get another supplier.
That's a good question, Oz. Well, as you know, I do pass a fair bit of my produce through Janine Flowers. She's a very good middle person. And obviously it's not in my interest that she is on at all. So I've now got to create a whole new relationship, a whole new network. I don't want to talk about my particular business, obviously, but it's not good for me. That's all I can say.
Okay. Right, so let's have a quick look. Audience, we have a question.
Hey, I didn't get to ask a question.
Children don't get questions.
Apologies, Tobias. You will in a second. I had skipped your number. I've always had a difficult...
Righty, 10. Bloody hell.
Yeah, number with 6. Right, so, Tobias, there is a question for you first. And Hugh Janus on YouTube says, Tobias, is your wig weaved out of animal hair?
I have this made for me. My parents made this for me. I have a profusion problem since I was 5.
Okay. Tobias, do you have a question for someone else?
Oh, yeah, I have a question for Holly Jolly. It's in 2 parts. It's a 2-part question. 1, Holly Jolly, what am I getting for Christmas? And 2, why is living Babushka Loco so mean to me? Why was he so mean and then mean?
I'll answer both questions at the same time. Nothing, because you're always a bad boy.
Okay. Interesting stuff. So, audience, please give us some further thoughts, because in a moment we're going to have 2 minutes of open conversation where the characters will use this time to build upon what we have already learnt from the question and answer section, where they will try to deem who they believe to be the werewolf. Continually, audience, give us thoughts along the way. Who do you suspect and why? 2 minutes open conversation, begin.
I'm a bit amazed, really, that Janine's warehouse is completely scrapped. There's nothing in it. As you can see behind it, it's completely, derelict.
You were there yesterday as well, Danny.
Yeah, you're the local villain, Oz.
I'm
like
a little
I
bit
said,
suspicious of him, if I'm going to be honest, the way he's been acting.
No, don't.
Yeah,
Danny
I mean,
is under control of Dave.
I'm a bit
he's not been
depressed.
acting very well, to be fair.
I know, Dave, you've lost your supplier. What else are you going to give me to keep me on my, up here instead of down here?
Don't you worry about that. It's all sorted. I'm fine. But obviously, like I said, not happy about Janine moving on. So not good for me.
I mean,
Holly, you look a bit like lovely, innocent, smiley, and all that. Which is always a bit dodgy. That.
Yeah.
Christmas is in 1100 days, so 111 days. Christmas. So
1100 days. That's like 4 years, isn't it?
I've been on the eggnog stage.
She's lost it. She's lost
Yeah,
it.
no, I mean,
On the
no one's
eggnog.
this happy with
Really
Janine.
good eggnog, though.
Her brain snapped and she killed Janine.
Yeah. By the way,
Babushka.
Tobias, back to your last question. That babushka, she's a shit mum. Seriously. So she's horrible to you. She's been horrible.
She's a
to me
what?
my whole
What was
life.
the word you used? What did you say? That was a new word to me. What did you say?
Shit.
She what?
Shit mum. A poor
shit
mum.
Her shit
A
son.
mum devoid of any emotions, feelings, or love. That kind
Can I
of
say that to my mom? I'm going to call my mom that.
I don't know.
No,
If she ever comes out of her room.
No, don't do that, Tobias.
My mom comes out of her room at night all the time.
Don't say.
Oh, hello.
What do you
Hello.
What do you think of Holly celebrating your Lord and Saviour's birth way prematurely? Something's weird with that.
It is
Oh,
weird.
that is the end of the open conversation. There will be one final interaction within this day-night cycle, and I can see that interaction is going to be between Babushka Vita and Tobias. If everyone else can stop your cameras, we will have this short scene just between these two characters. And here you go.
Why do you hate kids?
Because they are nothing but trouble.
Isn't it because my blood is pure and nobody else's is? That's what I think.
Don't
That's what I
understand.
think.
If
You
your
don't
blood was
understand why my blood...
if your blood was pure, the werewolf would have eaten you first.
No. That's stupid.
You are a werewolf.
You saying opposite of whatever I say. If I said it was night, you would say it was day.
It is day. What's this? What's this noise? Look, I had 7 children.
You
Terrible.
made me cry. You're mean.
They're there. There. Go. You should go home.
And
I
that
am
is
home in
the
my
end
basement.
of this interaction. That is the end of the interaction. Now, unfortunately, having a look out of the window, I can see that once again, day has turned to night. So, having a quick look to the comments section, Janie says, I think Polly looks guilty. Styles Clash asks, why do you love Christmas? Oh, hang on, guys, I didn't say to go yet. I didn't say to go yet. It's getting close. It's getting close. But we
Just taking a mandated break.
Okay. We do not want to be afflicted by the wolf another evening if we can avoid it. So, I think we should make the decision that we should take a vote. We should execute someone who we believe to be the wolf to try to rid us of this curse. So, audience, check the not the suggestion box, the notice board now. And audience, vote now and save us. Who do you think is the wolf? We will tally up all of the audience votes, and whoever gets the most votes from the audience, we will then hold against as one vote equal to the rest of the villagers' votes. So, going in order, Holly Jolly, please tell me, who do you believe to be the wolf?
Dave the dealer protests too much.
Okay, so that is one vote against Dave the Dealer. Sister Helen Highwater, who do you suspect of being the wolf?
I believe it's Danny Osborne. He's a bit shifty.
Okay, that is a vote against Danny. So, let's have a look. Position number 3, Dave the Dealer. Who do you believe is the wolf?
Yeah, I take my hint from your matey. I also think it's the troublemaker, Oz.
Okay. Next up, we're going to ask Polly Pickett. Who do you think is the werewolf?
Good question. I think I'm gonna have to go with the kid, though. Sorry, honey.
Okay, interesting stuff. That is a vote against Tobias. So next up, well, before that, audience, I'll just remind you, now is the time to vote. Who do you believe is the wolf? Put that into the comment section now. So next up, we have Babushka Vita. Who do you believe is the wolf?
You mean who do I want to murder?
Yes,
I
that's...
want to murder the kid.
You want to kill Tobias. So
Yes,
that is a vote against Tobias. Next up, Tobias. Who do you vote to kill?
I really have to take that whole thing in that she just said first before I... Okay, if I'm going to kill anyone, it's Babushka. She's going to kill me.
Okay, that is a vote against... Yep. Okay, so Babushka Vita, that is a vote against you. Janine Flowers, gone but not forgotten. Unfortunately, the dead cannot vote unless there is a tie-break situation. So now we will come to Danny Osborne. Who do you vote to kill?
I reckon it is that babushka woman.
You vote against the Babushka woman. Okay, interesting stuff. Let's have a look over at the comments section, see where we've got votes coming through. Vote against Polly, another against Polly, another third against Polly, one against Tobias, another against one against Danny. We'll give a few more seconds. Audience, you will need to get your votes in very quick. A vote, I think it's Dave the Dealer. We'll give a few more seconds, but it looks like that there will be a vote against Polly here. Another vote has come through against Dave. We're going to give a 5-second countdown for audience votes to come in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And another vote has come in against Dave, as I've said the word 1, which means 1, 2, 3 against Dave. 1, 2, 3. Hang on, against Polly. 1, 2 against Tobias. So we have a tie from the audience section between Dave and Polly. So we will come to Janine. Please break this tie. Do you think between these two, who deserves to be executed? Dave or Polly? Janine, give us your vote.
Hold on, let me confer with Fred. Well, Fred never liked Dave.
Okay, so that's... are we confirming that you're saying Dave there?
Well, that's who Fred votes for, but personally, I have... For Dave, sorry.
Okay, so... we have the results of the votes coming through, and villagers, I can say that we have not been very vigilant. We do not seem to have figured this out with any degree of certainty. Looking at the vote section, I can see that there are 2 votes against Dave the Dealer. There are 2 votes against the babushka lady Vita. There are 2 votes against Tobias, and there are 2 votes against Oz. So, with this, I will now once again be given the opportunity to Janine Flowers. You have to now pick between the expanded list of suspects. Your vote will choose who is executed here. The options are Dave the Dealer, Babushka Vita, Tobias Bloodworth, or Danny Oz Osborne. Who do you think killed you?
Man, it could have been any one of those people because people really didn't like me. I don't know why. I'm so happy. I'm going to defer to Fred again on this. He said that the babushka woman kicked him once. I'm going to go with babushka.
Okay. Vita, you have a 3rd vote against you. The villagers have marked you for death. I will now ask one of the other surviving villagers, please volunteer. Who would like to execute Babushka Vita? Tobias, I see you are waving quite excitedly. Will everyone else take out their video view? And we will just leave Tobias and the Babushka lady. There will now be a 30-second scenario. By the end of this 30 seconds, if you would like to use a protection spell to spare your life, Babushka Vita, you'll have to make it known. But otherwise, Tobias, the execution is over to you.
So now the shoe is on the other shoe, and I got you right where I want you, and you're gonna die now, and I get to kill you. And even if the people like the sheriff came and was like, hey, it was the 10-year-old, I wouldn't go to grown person jail, I would go to little person jail. So it'd be different, and it would be okay, because
That's it. I want my protection spell. I can't listen to this.
Okay, and
I could have gone on and on.
with that, with a second to spare, the Babushka Vita has taken a protection spell and spared her life. Everyone come back a moment. So we have definitely still got a wolf amongst us. The babushka Vita is still alive. Perhaps Tobias has been spared murdering an innocent person, or perhaps the wolf has got away. But I can see
I want to
that
kill her.
well, she protected herself. There are 3 protection spells left. I can now say that we are once again going to night. Everyone, switch out their cameras. Audience, give us your thoughts along the way. Give us your thoughts. Who do you suspect of being the wolf at this stage? I will say once again to the werewolf that make sure you have put the name of the person you wish to kill. I can see that they have. The werewolf has named their next victim. And wait a second, what's that? And I can say that it is now daytime. Everybody come back. Wakey, wakey. What a bright morning it is, just as we are beginning to get over the shock of Janine's death yesterday. I look across to me and see that a protection spell is missing. Wait, I almost do a double take, because I can see that all 3 remaining protection spells have been taken during the night. Now, it won't be revealed publicly, at least not by me, who used the protection spell, but 3 of you chose to protect yourselves, and unfortunately, they were all used unnecessarily, because we have a victim. Another person has been killed by the werewolf, and unfortunately, that is the would-be killer, Tobias. Tobias, last night, you were going to execute Babushka Vita, and she protected herself, but you did not protect yourself, and no one came to protect you. Before we continue this, I'm going to check again, and I can also say, Tobias, you're having a bad day, because you have been cursed on this day. So from beyond the grave, I can say that on this day, you will only be able, quite ironically, to communicate as one of your beloved cartoon characters. From this point on, for the remainder of this day, you will only be able to communicate in the style of one of your beloved cartoon characters. Would you like to make a brief statement of how it feels to be dead? Interesting. We will now go around all of our suspects again, this time in reverse order, starting Danny Oz Osborne. Who would you like to ask a question to?
Yeah, I want to ask a question to Holly.
Yes.
Holly, with Janine, and now with that annoying brat out of the way as well, nothing against him, just to say, but with Janine out of the way, are you going to sort of hone in on her territory in terms of business?
Are you talking to Polly or Holly? Gotta enunciate, babe.
I'm talking
Oh,
to
okay.
Holly.
All right, thanks. Cool. Wonderful. Hone in on what territory, hon? There's no labor to organize over there. It's just a dead building, which you're in, currently.
I got attached to it, I'm sorry.
Okay, so next up, after that question, we are going to come back to Janine from the Beyond the Grave. Please communicate. Who would you like to ask a question to?
I would like to ask a question to Holly. Now, Holly, a lot of people have compared us in the town because we're like the 2 chipper people. They've even gone as far as to say that there was a rivalry between us. There's no rivalry between me and you, I don't think. Do you harbor any ill feelings towards me?
No. I mean, the only feelings I have, Janine, is that you were never open to the village about our real relationship.
Oh, interesting revelation, perhaps. Next up, we're going to continue communicating with the spirit world. Tobias, who would you like to ask a question to from Beyond the Grave? what is your question?
Babushka, was I one of the first kids you've killed?
No.
That's horrifying.
Not aware. I'm aware that this is very bad for me. That he died and I celebrate. I did a little dance, but I did not actually. I'm not werewolf. I have killed children, but I'm not werewolf.
Okay. So next up, Babushka, who would you like to ask a question to?
Dave Dealer, please.
Mama.
Why you not talk with your accent anymore?
No, when I talk to you, it's like mama. Because it's my Eastern European background, isn't it? It's like cultural. I mean, when I talk to people, I'm like this, but when I talk to you, I'm like, mama.
I knew it was a mistake to move to a small village in London.
Okay. So, having a quick look at the comment section, we can see that Hugh said bugger, obviously when Tobias was killed, because he said Tobias holds some deep and dark secrets. Perhaps not. He is now deep and dark under the ground. Ian Hales on Facebook says love it. But then Michael on YouTube says, Helen, what is your biggest sin?
Okay, I'll answer that now. I wasn't sure if it was, sorry, it's my turn. Okay, my biggest sin, okay, if I'm really honest, I have kissed a man before.
Scandal. Oh my god, you'll need to do some Hail Marys for that, no doubt. But next up, we are going to come to Polly Pickett. Who is your question to?
My question is also for Sister Helen over here. If I could bend your ear for just a moment. How recently did you kiss this man?
Oh, we're talking when I was a wee tot. Not tot, obviously that's too young, but, you know, a teenager. A long time ago from now, my love.
Things are starting to come together in my mind regarding you. For me. Okay, got it.
It was a purely just a kiss. Please don't have any other views in your mind.
Okay, next, Dave the Dealer. Who do you have a question to?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, this is personal, obviously. Now, I have a lot of good business with Janine Flowers, and I love her dearly. So I was confused. I'll be honest. I was confused when she accused me of being a werewolf. So I'd like to ask Janine, why?
Only because you made a mistake earlier. That's it.
Oh, yes. 100 years ago, a relative of yours made a mistake.
That one mistake, I...
Oh, 100 years ago, you hold... That's women for you, isn't it? Hold the bloody, thing against you. 100 years. Love it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dave.
Great. Oh.
Okay, having a quick look back over to the comment section, I can see that Hugh has said, Holly, I'm ignoring the Christmas decorations behind you. Is Halloween not your favourite holiday?
No, it's Christmas all year round for me, and it's now 109 days till Christmas, and it's the year that every Christmas every year one of my 10 cats was born, and so why not celebrate it every day?
Okay, Sister Helen Highwater, who do you have a question for?
Yes, I have a question for Vita, please. My question is, well, I was walking through past Confession the other day and I heard a woman with a strong Russian accent declare her thirst for blood. Was that you?
I mean, obviously not. Most people in village are talk like this.
Interesting stuff. Having a look back to the comment section, Styles Clash on Twitch says, Tobias, who was your favourite daddy?
Well, heavens to Murgatroyd! That's a strange question! The postman!
Interesting stuff. Lastly, Holly Jolly, who is your question to?
Mine is to Sister Helen. I'd just like to know when's the last time you took confessional?
Last time I took confessional?
Yes.
Well, I try and actually take confession once a week, so I'm actually due tomorrow.
Okay. I heard the word try there.
Okay,
Don't always
so
make
Okay, we will now have 1 minute and 40 seconds of open conversation. Take it away.
Sister Helen Highwater, just a question. Are those nuns behind you listening? Do they know how you are?
Phoebe? Maria? No, they're not. They're all right.
Are they alive?
No, they're just hard of hearing, a bit old.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
that's-
they don't know.
That's
They don't know
convenient.
what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yes,
I've got an
I'd be sure if
idea.
you got up to anything, would they?
Dave, here's a thought, because
Yeah.
I've noticed that although Polly's got all the unions in it now, Holly, she's still got some greenery in her. What if you were to, use her as your supplier from now on? I need.
Well, I don't want to have a cause offence there, Roz, but my business is my business, and why you're getting involved, I've got no bloody idea, mate. It's got nothing to do with a werewolf. No, hang on, mate. It's got nothing to do with a werewolf. It's got nothing. You get a little bit of a 5% off me, and that's for causing a bit of aggro when I need it. That's your job. But advising me on my business, mate, not really on.
Well, someone must have stolen all of her gear.
Stolen whose gear? What, all the flowers?
Yeah, Janine.
It only lasts 3 days, mate. Flowers got, apart from the sunflowers, the rest just wilt. What's the matter with you? Anyway, I want to ask my mama,
Oh my God.
Babushka Vita. Now, it does look, when you look at who's dead, you've got Janine Flowers, who I know you didn't like. You've got Tobias, who called you aggro. Is it you, Mum? Oh, you can tell me privately, you can type to me on the old chat privately. Is it you? I won't tell no one.
First of all, I don't know how to do that. You have to come show me. But secondly, I don't really like anyone. There's nobody that I'm looking
Well,
at.
I know that. I do know that, Mama. I must admit. But are you the werewolf? That's what I'm asking.
Son, I tell you, if I was werewolf, you would not be talking to me right now.
Are you saying you
totally
killed
fair.
me? Oh, well, you can't kill your son because you're the werewolf. No, it's not right.
You are always on Santa's bad list.
Oh, that is over 2 minutes. That is the end of that interaction. But we will have one final interaction before we get to the vote. And let's have a look. This is going to be an interaction between Danny Osborne and... I keep rolling 3 times in a row. It's rolled an 8. Let's have a look. And it will be between the dearly departed Janine Flowers. So everyone else take out their camera view. And let's have a quick 1 minute interaction from Beyond the Grave. Take it away.
I'm tripping. Is that you, Janine?
Yes. Just a question. Why did you move into my warehouse after I was killed?
I mean, Dave, you were supplying Dave with all the good stuff. I wanted to see, with you gone, if there was any left. But as you can see behind me, it's completely sad. There must be something here that I'm not seeing.
Well, there's a lot that I'm seeing that I don't like. I would never have kept my warehouse that untidy. You've got it looking like a crime scene.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's completely ransacked. Someone who you must have dealings with must have, taken everything and just left it in this state. I mean,
Are you sure it wasn't you? Because Fred seems to think that was all you. He seems to
And that is the end of this interaction. Everyone come back. It is now going to be voting time. Audience, vote now and save us. Who do you suspect of being the wolf? We will have an execution tonight. There is no more protection spells. Someone is going to be taken out. Hopefully, based on the last 2 days' interactions, we can now narrow down and successfully identify who is the wolf. So, let's have a look. Audience, make sure as quick as you can, put into the comment section who you suspect of being the werewolf. Okay, and let's get the votes in. And once again, the dead are not able to vote. So going in reverse order. Danny, who do you vote to kill?
Based on what was discussed today, I wanna nominate Holly Jolly.
Holly Jolly, you have a vote against you. Now, unfortunately, Janine, you still cannot vote, but if there is a tie-break situation again, we may call upon you. Tobias, you're a little too young to vote this time, may God rest your soul. But next up, can we ask Babushka Vita, who do you vote for?
Naughty nun.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Naughty nun.
Is that Sister Helen Highwater?
I think it's Naughty Nun.
Naughty Nun, yes.
My mum is not very
I think
clear
she called me
sometimes.
filthy, actually, which is just really not a nice thing to say.
I thought
Okay.
she said
Only in my imagination.
Polly
Naughty
Pickett,
Nun.
who do you
Naughty.
vote against?
Naughty Nun.
Oh my god, there's so much going on. You know, I think I'm gonna have to go with Holly.
Okay, a vote against Holly. Dave the Dealer, who do you vote for?
I think she looks too wholesome. I'm going Holly as well. Holly
Okay.
Jolly, you ain't on the bolly.
Sister Helen Highwater, perhaps the moral saviour of the masses here. Who do you vote against?
I also vote for Holly because I don't think she really knows the true meaning of Christmas.
Okay, Holly. Things are looking a little bit grim here. Who do you vote against?
Well, as she's always believed that Jesus was born at Christmas, when really it was more like summertime, I'm voting for Sister Helen.
Sister Helen, you have got a... Oh dear. You've got a vote against you. So, let's just have a look. I just realised I was marking down the wrong people. But, let's have a look over at the comments section. And Liger's Rule says Polly. Max says Helen. Battlecat says Holly. So, one for Polly, one for Helen, one for Holly. Another for Polly, another for Helen, another for Polly, another for Polly, another for Polly. And then we've got Holly looks rather false. Nobody can be that smiley unless they have something to hide. Holly the wolf in Santa's clothing says Hugh. Janie said, I'm getting suspicious of Helen. Battlecat said, I think it's Holly. Peter O'Sullivan on Facebook says Holly. We'll give a few more seconds, but let's see how this is looking. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 against Holly there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against Polly. 5 against Polly. So with that, we'll give a 3-second countdown, audience. You're going to have to get these votes in very quick. 3, 2, 1. Polly, that is a vote against you in that round. But, having a look overall, a landslide, audience, your vote was not agreed upon by all of the rest of the surviving villagers here. Holly, you have been marked for death. Can I have a volunteer to execute you, please?
That's like
Okay,
killing
Sister
Christmas.
Helen. Sister Helen Highwater. Will you please put this young Holly Jolly out of her misery? Everyone else, if you will step away for the execution to take place. There are no protection spells left. There will be a 30-second interaction at the end of this, so don't reveal if you are or are not the wolf just yet. We will find out the truth from beyond the grave. 30 seconds, execution, begin.
Now, I don't want this to be a painful death. So, if you drink this holy water, it'll be over quickly.
Can't be as painful as your prayers, to be honest. So let's just,
Oh, you've been, have you? Oh, it's a surprise.
You're the one always asking for the vibrators every Christmas, so that's why I turn up, just to have a bit of a giggle. But, you know,
I mean, a nun's got to get what she can on her own, hasn't she?
good on you, girl. Good on you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and I take that may be a poison drink because 30 seconds has passed. And Holly, oh dear, Blood is going everywhere. She's spitting this up. And from beyond the grave, Holly Jolly, please reveal, are you the wolf?
Just like 2020, Christmas is now dead as well.
Oh my goodness, we have made a terrible mistake. We have made a terrible, tragic mistake. Audience, a lot of you thought it was Holly. You were wrong. A lot of our surviving villagers thought it was Holly. You were all wrong. We're going to have a very restless night tonight. But once again, it is night time. Everyone, turn off your cameras. So, audience, I would just remind you that this is the Revenge of the Werewolf show from Extreme Improv. If you are watching us on youtube.com/Extreme Improv, or even if you're not, take a moment just to head over there and click the subscribe button just down below here. It will help us to be able to keep putting on these shows and other shows like it with the more subscribers we get. But looking at the comments section, I can see that Hugh Janus says, "Oh bugger," again. Yes, unfortunately, we've got some incorrect votes coming through. Liger says, "I hate Christmas," and Styles Clash says, "Kill the wolf." Well, unfortunately, guys, you were wrong this time. But there is going to be another opportunity. There are no more protection spells left. Wait, I can hear some rustling in the bushes. So, with this, day has come back, night is over, everybody wakey wakey, with no protection spells left. I can see that it is getting quite empty here in the village. There are graves, there are ashes. We are mourning the loss not only of Janine Flowers dead, not only of Tobias Bloodworth dead, and the dark secret shame of killing Holly Jolly that we had ourselves last night, but I can also now reveal Sister Helen Highwater, you have been murdered. From beyond the grave, please tell us, how do you feel?
I just didn't think it was my time yet. I've done so much good for the convent and the people of the village and my fellow sisters. I just hope you all remember me.
Okay, with this, we're going to ask questions. So, starting with, from beyond the grave, Holly Jolly, who do you have a question for?
Babushka, if I can. Teo Destello. No. You say you speak Russian, but no.
Ah, okay. Let's find out. Who else may or may not be hiding secrets? Because we are going to come to From Beyond the Grave, Sister Helen Highwater. Who do you have a question for?
Also for Babushka Vita. It's getting increasingly dark there. Do you not have a light? Are you trying to hide something?
I've been hiding for many years. Dave's father was a Russian prince. I have to do this to keep him safe.
Okay, interesting.
I'm not Russian at all.
What? What a revelation. Babushka Vita is not Russian at all. Okay, audience, I remind you, please ask some questions and we will ask them to the villagers along the way. But next up, let's see, who have we got? Dave the Dealer, please ask someone a question.
Well, I've narrowed it down to two. And I'm not necessarily going to ask one of the two the next question.
Interesting.
See? You see what I'm doing here? I'm using this, using the old nonce. I'm not a nonce, but I'm using the old nonce.
That may be the wrong word.
Wrong word. Holly!
No.
What do you reckon's going on, darling?
I don't know, but I was under the impression that Russian royalty was extremely inbred, so I don't have a lot of confidence in your deductive reasoning skills.
Well, I think that's
Okay.
racist, to be fair.
Right. Next up, Polly. Who is your question to?
It's to Dave.
Yeah. Ollie?
Yeah. No,
Ollie?
it's me. It's me.
No, I've done.
Yeah, the woman you just called a racist.
Yeah, because you said
Yeah.
I was like stupid and Russian, but yeah.
I just said that royalty was extremely inbred. I mean, that's like a...
Alright, inferred racism, whatever.
Okay, guys, can we have a question, please? A question.
It's culturalist. It's culturalist, if anything.
All right.
I want to know why you're taking out every single person in this village that ever brought anyone joy.
Who's your
Except
question
for
to?
you.
I seriously
It's
don't
for
understand
Dave.
the question.
Dave.
It's for Dave.
I literally don't understand your question, darling. What do you mean? I'm taking everyone out that has no joy. Wait, seriously, don't understand it.
Game
Okay.
recognized game.
Right, so next up, Babushka Vita, if that is your real name, who's your question to?
My question is to Sister Helen. May she rest in peace. Sister Helen, what was the last thing you saw before you died?
Well, it was actually my fellow sisters. We all had our evening dinner together. We said our prayers, and I had an early night with my book.
Okay, guys, I'm noticing that I forgot to mention that a dark curse has fallen upon one of you. Unfortunately, that is Danny. Danny, throughout the remainder of this day, you can only speak in single-syllable words. Single-syllable words only. If you try to break the curse early, you will be struck down with silence. But with that, let's continue on. From Beyond the Grave, Tobias, who is your question to?
Hi, everybody. It's me, Mickey Mouse.
You are no longer cursed, just in case you
That's
forgot
great.
this.
That's too bad. I had about 10 planned. My question goes to Babushka one more time. Well, you know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going, Danny, I want to know, don't you think it's weird that someone would kill a 10-year-old and then kill someone who loves Christmas? That's like killing Santa Claus.
Yeah, that does seem a bit wait. Let me start from scratch.
Are you crying?
You can only ask one question, Tobias.
Sorry.
But he broke the curse.
Oh, you broke the curse, Danny. You were silenced. You were right. You were right. You've broken the curse. So, Danny, you are silenced. Unfortunately, looking over at the comments section, there's actually a question or two for you, Danny. We'll ask them now and see your expression to see how we judge you for it. Danny, are you in cahoots with Polly? What does that question mean from Liger's Rule? You're shaking your head. We can also look at Polly's expression there. I wonder what's going on there. Also, Hugh says, if Danny / Oz could date any of the remaining villagers, who would it be and why? I think that's number 3, Dave the Dealer. Right, so Dave the Dealer, you may be in luck here. Okay, and one other question we've had so far from Styles Clash. Polly, why do you hate everything?
I'm tired and I'm old.
Okay, so next up, let's have a look. Who has to ask the next question? Who has to ask the next question? I've completely lost track of who hasn't asked the question. Tobias, I think you need to ask the next question.
I get to ask a question?
I think so.
Okay. I thought I asked Danny. Okay.
Oh no, then you don't. Then you don't.
Yeah,
Right,
I am
Janine.
here, but
Janine, I meant. You get to ask the question.
So, there was something that Fred was really bugging him for the longest time, about Polly. He said that, but you wanted me to ask you, right? He wanted me to ask, why did you come by our shop that day demanding us signing this paper that would have relinquished everything we owned to you?
Well, no, honey, it wasn't relinquishing everything you owned. It was relinquishing your ability to organize your own labor. It was taking the stress off of you.
Okay.
Oh.
And lastly, the final question would be to Danny. You're not allowed to speak out loud, but you can try to communicate with someone if you wish. Four words.
Polly.
Oh,
Polly.
sorry, I was going down a different game. Right, you want to communicate with Polly. I think he's telling you to put a sock in it.
Oh no, he found her hat.
Oh!
Her hat's in the warehouse.
A hat in the warehouse. Interesting. Do you have a response to this, Polly?
Well, he wasn't telling me to put a sock in it last weekend.
What was he telling you to put in it? Don't answer that. Right, so, okay, there will now be 1 minute and 30 of open interaction. Go.
This is great news. Or is it? There was something going on between Polly and Danny?
But
I don't know what
importantly,
any of you are talking about.
found at the first murder site.
Ah, yes.
Look, I wear a lot of hats. I'm bound to lose one or two. Okay?
But guys, remember, Babushka's now Mrs. Jones. She hasn't been honest the whole way through.
Yeah, what's up with that? I'm kind of like really
Mama,
lonely.
what's going on? What's going on?
I'm definitely leaning towards Polly or Mrs. Jones here. There's something not right.
Quiet, you're dead. Mrs. Jones, what's up?
It was my only secret. I had to protect him. There's some very dark Russian characters involved. I can't really get into it, but I've been hiding.
When you say dark, Mum, because I'm quite white, like, do you mean dark as in African dark, as in West Indian?
No.
What do you mean dark? Or dark?
Who's
dark?
racist now?
What? I'm just asking my mum a question. Oh, you Polly, you're all right. You're a right one, you are, son.
I'll be disgusting, honey.
I feel like you two need to go on a mummy and son date.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what's going on. She changes her name, tells you my dad's a prince. I've no idea what's going on. Been my whole life.
The Mafia prince. It's a thing.
Mafia prince.
Ah.
Oh, that's hot.
The mafia burned buildings.
Yes.
Okay,
I was
and
wanting to
that
try
is
with
the
me,
end
but-
of that interaction. We will have one final interaction scene before we come on to the vote. And from the roll of the dice, I see that from beyond the grave, it will be Holly Jolly interacting with Polly Pickett. Everyone else step to the side and let these two converse. You have 1 minute for this interaction. Begin.
How's it going, Holly? What's it like being on the other side?
You don't need to be fake with me anymore, Polly. Come on, game's up.
You're right. I should have moved out of this town a long time ago.
You still boinking Danny?
Define boinking.
Letting him finger you? You've been doing it since high school, love. You're still doing it now, aren't you?
I mean, everyone has their uses.
Yeah, that's true. He has got good fingers.
He does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's dexterous. I don't.
Yeah. They're thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's simple, but he's handy.
Talking about simple, so glad it's just you and me, because I bloody hate Christmas. Having to put up with this charade. Fudge
Yeah.
me.
I've
Fudge
actually.
me.
Oh, and that is the end of that interaction.
That was funny.
Very interesting details coming to light there. Very interesting
I
details.
didn't understand anything.
Okay,
Wait till you're
so
older.
I can say that it is now time to vote. Audience, vote now. Who is the wolf? put in the votes into the comments section and save us. So, whilst we're waiting for the audience votes to come in, it will now be the time for our surviving cast members, our characters here, to vote. And we will go in order of the surviving. So, Holly, unfortunately, so sadly missed, executed yesterday. You do not get to vote unless there is a tie-break situation. Sister Helen Highwater, how we miss your guidance and reason, but sometimes we hear it from beyond the grave. But we cannot hear from you. So, Dave the Dealer, who do you think is the werewolf?
Well, it's a toughie. I can't vote for my mama, because that's out of order. Like a family thing. So, therefore, it's between Oz and Polly.
We're going to have to rush you for a vote, please.
I'm going that nasty woman, Polly.
Okay, that is a vote against Polly. Next up, we will come to Polly. Who do you think is the werewolf amongst us?
Friggin' Dave.
Okay, that is a vote against Dave. So, let's now go to Mrs. Jones. Tell us, who do you believe to be the werewolf?
The one with whose hat was found at the first murder scene. Seems quite obvious to me.
I may not have been paying full attention to this.
That was Polly.
Polly, yes, of course. Okay, next up.
I got a hat right here. What does it even prove?
What does this
They'll have
prove?
a blue hat, though.
Okay, next up, we will unfortunately not be able to come to either Tobias or Janine, as they are both peacefully resting in their graves. But Danny, who do you believe to be the werewolf? Number 4, you say. Number 4, that is another vote against Polly. Let's have a look over at the comments section. Let's see what votes we've got coming through. So we've got a vote against Danny, a second against Danny, and a third against Danny at this stage. We've then got a vote against Polly, one against Dave. Sophie J on Twitch says Danny did it. Another vote against Danny. Janie says Danny looks like he's living wild in that building. It's Danny. Liger's Rule says Danny. Battlecat says Polly did it. Hugh Janus on YouTube says Oz is the lycanthrope. I don't know what that means. But anyway,
Werewolf. Lycanthrope.
He's the
werewolf.
Obviously I understood that. I was just checking that you guys did. So I can say that from the audience votes, that is a vote against Danny. So, having a look here, there are no protection spells left. And surviving villagers, we have made a decision. The audience vote didn't actually conflict with things here. Polly, you have been marked for death. Would one of our other surviving villagers like to volunteer to execute? Mrs. Jones, was that you?
No, I was volunteering my son.
Your son?
I've killed too many.
Okay. Dave, do you wish to be volunteered?
I'm happy to do it.
Okay, so everyone else, please take out your camera view. So, there will be 30 seconds. Do not reveal during this time if you are or are not the werewolf. And at the end of it, we will find out if you are or are not the wolf. Take away the execution.
We have crossed swords during the last few days. And I'm sorry it's befallen to me. I did not volunteer, but my mum has said I had to do it. And you know what mamas are like, very, instructive. How would you like to die? You have a choice. You can have a poison pill. You can have the old noose hanging, or you can have an injection. What would you like to do, darling?
Well, you've already killed me with this extremely boring discourse. So, I mean, I think I'll just bite down on my cyanide to be done with it. Am I right?
Runes to the end, Polly. Fuck off.
Right, okay. So, we can see that, unfortunately, blood is going everywhere. Polly Pickett, from beyond the grave, please tell us, are you the wolf?
No!
Oh! And we have once again failed to capture the werewolf. We will take a moment of deep contemplation over our actions here as a village.
Can't be a strong woman without getting freaking killed out here. Jeez.
Okay, my goodness.
Tell
Things
me
are
about
getting
it.
grim in the village. Can we please now once again go to night? Can everyone take out their camera view? Audience at this stage. Okay, at this stage, audience, I will remind you that if you're watching us on facebook.com/Extreme Improv, do give us a like on the page. It just helps us grow all around. We put out lots of shows every week, including every Wednesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. UK time. We have the Extreme Improv XStreamed short form improv show. Okay, I have seen that the werewolf is lurking about. Everyone, watch out, because there are no more protection spells left. Okay, and wakey wakey, it is another bright and beautiful day out there. It is a bright day, it is a beautiful day, but unfortunately, Danny, for you, there will be no more sunrises. Danny, you have been murdered, your body is mutilated, there are limbs everywhere, the wolf has taken you out. From beyond the grave. Well, in a moment, let's find out, because I sense some more dark magic. We can now say that, Dave the dealer, you have a curse on you. You have a curse on you. For the remainder of this day, you will only be able to communicate as if this is science fiction. You will only be able to communicate as if this is science fiction. If I feel you are trying to break the curse, you will be cursed with silence. But Danny, from beyond the grave, tell us, how do you feel about this situation?
Oh, I feel absolutely gutted, but on the bright side, I get to be with the Christmas spirit.
Okay, so we now get to ask questions, and we will, in fact, start with you, Danny, going in reverse order. Danny, who do you have a question for?
Yeah, I would like to ask a question to Dave.
What is your question?
My question to you is, at what point were you ever going to tell us that Mrs. Jones was not a babushka?
Mrs. Jones, not no babushka. Mrs. Jones, mama. Mrs. Jones, new character. Me, no, Mrs. Jones, new character. Me, no, mama. And mama suckled me at the breast.
Okay, next up, Janine, do you have a question for someone?
Yes. What happened to Dave? Is he now Bam Bam from the Flintstones?
Are you asking this question to me?
To Dave, the dealer.
Okay.
What's happening?
Bam Bam. Me, robot, or half robot, kind of android in 23rd century. Me speak in very specific way. What is your question? Janine Flowers dead.
Okay.
Why are you speaking that way? That was my question.
Yes, that was the question. Next up, we are going to come to Tobias from Beyond the Grave. Who is your question to?
If I could ask anyone a question, I would like to ask Mrs. Jones a question. Now, do you have any other personality issues? Do you change into anything else, maybe? Another personality, maybe another one that's really mean, or one that's really nice?
No. Like I said, it's a very complex story involving the KGB and the USSR and this donkey and.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Jones, do you have a question for someone?
Dave,
Your question for Dave?
my son,
Mama.
how could you kill all those people? How could
Kill.
you do it? You were a werewolf.
Kill I did not, Mama. You are negative.
Okay. Next up, let's hear a question from the recently passed Polly Pickett, executed by your fellow townfolk.
I mean, is it really an execution if you bite down on your own cyanide tooth? Anyway, Mrs. Jones, why? I mean, are you proud? Are you proud of your werewolf, wolfy murderer son?
No, obviously not. I can't believe he's turned out just like his father.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking at the comment section, Hugh says, "Why is Babushka letting her hair down?"
I guess he needs to catch up, huh?
Yeah.
You may need to catch up. There is another question, though, which says, "Mrs. Jones, who haven't you slept with?"
The child.
Thank God. Okay,
I mean, never.
with that, Dave the dealer, who do you have a question for?
My internet failed. What said you?
Dave, who do you have a question for?
I have a question for dead Polly Pickett. Why you picket on me, Dave, all time?
Because you're insufferable and you sound like Jar Jar Binks now.
Not compute.
Okay. Next up, let's come to Sister Helen Highwater from Beyond the Grave. Who do you have a question for?
Dave the dealer. Are you following in the footsteps of your grandfather because you think no one will suspect you? Because it's too obvious?
Compute which grandfather?
The one 100 years ago who gave himself away?
Compute stupid man. Compute Dave not stupid. Compute Dave modern. Trendy. Look at that.
Okay, lastly, Holly Jolly from Beyond the Grave. Who do you have a question for?
Yes, mine is for Mrs. Jones or Babushka. Are you happy that you killed all the women in the village? And now you can just sleep with the remaining men, which happen to just be your son.
Ew.
I will not sleep with any more of the men. The only man here I'd slept with was Oz. I'm very sad that he's dead. He had nice fingers.
Okay, so everyone has asked a question. There will now be 1 minute and 20 of open conversation. Take it away.
So Dave, when it comes to killing your mum, do you think you're going to be able to do it?
Good one.
My son.
So that is a good question. Sorry, that is a good question. So, if my mum has slaughtered the lot of you, then it is upon me to kill her. It's a duty, won't be a pleasure, and she has shagged most of you, to be fair. So obviously there'll be mixed emotions. But if that is the case, which I guess it has to be, looking at all the numbers, then it is my duty, and I will fulfil my village duty.
Dave,
I mean, he's got to be the werewolf. He broke his curse. Look at him.
Dave.
Oh, yes.
Gonna
I
say
will say that is a break of your curse. Dave, you are silenced for the remainder of this day cycle.
Hey?
Let me talk to my son. Listen, Dave. I will lay down my life for you. You are my son. But please, you must tell them you are the werewolf. I will do this for you, because I'm your mother. But you know that I'm not the werewolf. I know that it is you. Once you kill me, you can't kill any more people, okay?
Mrs. Jones, are you used to passing the blame on to other people?
That's what it seems like.
And that is the end of that interaction. There will be one final interaction, which is going to be a very interesting one. As Dave the Dealer has been struck with the curse of silence, there will be a 1 minute interaction between Dave and Sister Helen Highwater. You'll have a 1-minute interaction. Dave, you were cursed with silence for this, unfortunately. Helen, you can do the talking. Here you go.
So how does it feel, Dave, to follow in the steps of your grandfather? From what I have heard, he wasn't a very nice man, and I think you've got some of his blood, am I right? Yeah, I know. Because I think when you killed me, I could feel a presence. And it was definitely yours, wasn't it? Wasn't it? And I know that you've had a few ladies around here, haven't you? And you've pissed a few people off. I can swear now, because I'm not under God's name. What, you like a good... What, you smoking drugs, taking drugs now? Is that why you killed Oz? Did you owe him lots of money? Oh, very clever. Yes, you are insane. Yes. So you're going to own up to it? You're going to let your mum take the rap? So you're not going to own up to it? No. No. And what is that? Is that shirt made out of blood, is it? Yeah,
okay,
hello.
that is the end of the interaction. Everyone come on back. It is now going to be voting time. It is voting time. This will be the final day. There are no protection spells left. We have 2 surviving people. They are Dave the Dealer and Mrs. Jones, mother and son. We will now have a vote where, in fact, the dead will be able to vote, I believe. We have reached a situation again. Audience, please, vote now and save us. Vote now and save us. The dead will be able to vote. Who do we think is the werewolf? It is either Dave the Dealer or it is Mrs. Jones. Please put your votes into the comment section. Vote now and save us from the werewolf. So, with that, let's go. Sister Helen Highwater, who do you vote for? Who do you believe is the werewolf?
Well, like grandfather, like son is what they say. So I'm going with Dave the Dealer.
Okay, that is
like
a vote.
grandson, not son.
Right, that is a vote against Dave the Dealer. Next up, Dave, yourself. Hang on, I've skipped over Holly. Who would you like to vote for?
I'm going to vote for Mrs. Jones.
Okay, that is a vote against Mrs. Jones. So let's have a look. A vote against Mrs. Jones. 1 second. And okay. So, next up, Dave, who do you vote for?
Well, this is going to surprise... Hang on, I'm not allowed to talk.
Oh, no, you're not actually. Sorry. Who do you vote for? You vote against Mrs. Jones. Interesting stuff. Next up, let's find out. Polly Pickett, who do you vote against?
Is it even a question, Dave?
Okay, that is a vote against Dave the Dealer. So, let's have a look there now. Next up, we will find out from Mrs. Jones. Who do you vote against?
Well, I was ready to take the blame for my son. But since you voted against me, I vote for Dave.
Okay. So, next up, Tobias from Beyond the Grave. Who do you vote to kill?
It's all really riveting, but I mean, I'd have to go with, Dave the Dealer. I think he's hiding a lot of hair underneath that hat and werewolf hair, that sort of thing.
Okay, that is another vote against Dave the Dealer. Janine Flowers, dead. Who do you vote for?
Sorry, me and Fred were having a bit of a discussion, but I feel we're unanimous in this. But I think it's a copycat killing, and I think it's Dave.
Okay. With that, we will come to Danny Osborne, R.I.P. Who do you vote against?
I'm going to vote against my former dealer, Dave.
Okay, interesting stuff. Let's go over to the comments section. And we have got a vote against Dave, a vote against Mrs. Jones, another against Dave, a third against Dave, a second against Mrs. Jones, a third against Mrs. Jones, a fourth against Dave, a fifth against Dave, a fourth against Mrs. Jones, a sixth against Dave, a fifth against Mrs. Jones, a seventh against Dave. Dave, the audience have marked you for death as well, and looking at the votes, I can see that Mrs. Jones, you have got 2 votes against you compared to 7 against Dave. Mrs. Jones, as the sole surviving villager who has not been marked for death, you will have to carry out the execution on your son. There will be a 30-second interaction here, at the end of which we will have Dave the Dealer executed. Do not reveal yet if you are the wolf, but okay, execution, begin.
Mama, no! You can't do this! I am your son, your blood, your history.
Don't make this harder than it has to be, Dave.
Mama, I love you. You're so beautiful. I love you.
We all know that's a lie.
It's not a lie. You don't love me, but I love you. You are my mama. You are my vessel. You are my blood. You are my spirit. You are my conscience.
Dave, you're not the son of the Russian prince. You're the son of a Russian peasant.
And with that, they carry out the execution. Bang! Blood is splattering everywhere. Everyone, come on back. Let us communicate with Dave the Dealer. From beyond the grave, please tell us, are you the werewolf?
Silently, because he's not allowed to talk.
He can talk now.
Yes, I am the werewolf.
Yes!
I knew it was a double bluff.
Yeah, bollocks, she knew nothing.
Right, so, there we go. Mrs.
Come on,
Jones,
to the end! Come
you
on!
have survived. You are the sole survivor in the village, Mrs. Jones. Do you have any final words to say there, Mrs.
You knew it
Jones?
wasn't her. It's not hard to accuse me, is it?
No.
Mrs. Jones, any final words?
Finally, some peace and quiet around here.
Brilliant stuff. So, audience, please give us some thoughts of the show and of the capture of the werewolf, Dave the Dealer, right there at the end. This was a nail-biting finale. Last week, the wolf...
Capture, very last minute.
Yes, last week the wolf made it all the way and went the distance. This time it came down to the final 2, but successfully, an audience, it was very close, but you did successfully identify the wolf there as well. We have a few statistics that we can go over, and then we will begin to wrap things up. But as we've discovered over the last couple of weeks, we do like a little bit of like the open chat at the end. So everyone, reveal your secrets. What did you suspect? Were you right? Were you wrong? When did you suspect? Or what's going on? Tell us things.
Thought it was Dave at the beginning, which is why I voted for him at the start, but then he pulled a face, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe not.
Yeah. So I can actually reveal from my side of things that obviously we played 2 games of Revenge of the Werewolf today, and Dave was the werewolf the first time. This wasn't me trying to pull any double bluff. It was once again decided by the dice. I rolled 3 twice in a row. And for a split second I actually did go to roll again, then I thought like, no, let's stick with what the dice dictates. So, anyone else, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was probably going to be Dave again. I was like, okay, dice. It's got to be. It's got to be. It was a lot of fun.
Dave, you need to get better at your rolling skills.
I will do. Right.
Quite a few of the same.
Yeah, do you know, there was one time where I rolled 8 3 times in a row, but there you go. Okay, so a couple of things I can reveal is that you almost had Dave straight away. When we had to have the dead vote and it was just Janine, Elke, when you had to vote, at first you chose Dave, which made it a tie-break situation. So when we had the first tie-break, you voted against Dave, but then when it opened it up and you could then vote again between 4 people, you didn't vote for Dave, and that allowed you...
He was an option.
I was an option. There were 4 of us. I love you, Elkie.
I would have voted for him twice.
Fuck you,
You
Elkie.
gave me 4 names.
Should have listened to
Okay.
Fred. Should have listened
Take
to
your hat
Fred.
off and go and
Yeah,
have a
if you
shower.
voted for him the first
God's
time,
sake.
he was still. Then that meant that he was still out for it the second time. Oh, and never
Oh,
mind.
You gave me 4 names.
I thought it was just strangely changed.
There was-
Yeah,
well,
never mind.
it
Never
changed
mind. Okay.
Because my acting was so good, it infused confusion in her mind.
However, having a look at things, I did keep check along the way of who made correct votes. And so obviously as things narrowed down, like I said, so Elkie, you in the first opportunity you did vote against Dave, but after that point, the only person who voted against Dave the dealer twice throughout the show was Polly. You were the only one. So obviously towards the end, you voted against him, but you were the only other person that voted against him earlier. Otherwise,
She
the
just didn't
person,
like me, basically.
people that got the most votes were Holly in the round. So Laura, you got a lot of votes in the round where you were executed, and Helen Highwater. Ellie, you got lots of votes against you. At one. No, hang on a second. Oh no, you didn't. You didn't. This was the round where I accidentally started marking down Helen instead of Holly. So it was Holly.
I see.
It was me.
Yeah, there was one I was like, Helen. I was like, oh, hang on, they're saying Holly. But okay, so Holly, you were the one that people felt most conviction over at one stage or another.
Always the ones that play the nice characters.
I
Yeah,
know.
everyone hates Christmas.
Yeah, everyone hates nuns.
Yeah.
Nuns, Christmas, and flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, none of that.
Are there any tactics that you guys felt worked or didn't work for future reference for future players or for yourselves in the future?
Yeah, play a dick. They tend to last longer.
You
They
mean
do.
me, Helen?
And it's fun too.
I
Yeah.
think it was everyone turned on me. And I'm very sorry. I genuinely thought it was her at the time.
Yeah.
I like Dee's switch from Babushka to Mrs. Jones when I asked her the Russian question and she's like, oh, can't carry on with the Russian anymore.
What was your Russian question?
I asked her whether she did it.
Ah, so do you? How come you speak Russian?
I'd googled it as we were going through the show to figure out how to say it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Russian during the
I
show.
learned Russian to get her out. So yeah, obviously not knowing no Russian.
Amazing.
It's a
Ah,
very complicated story with Mafia. It wasn't really flashed out. But
It was great.
yeah. Okay, so with that, let's have a quick look over at the comments section. Hugh says, "Well played, guys." Janie says, "I knew it was you, Dave, Mrs. Jones."
Who said
Oh,
that?
I knew it was your Dave, Mrs. Jones. Oh, there you go. So that makes sense. I knew it was your Dave, Mrs. Jones. So,
Hugh
Aisha.
Janus voted 5 wrong ones.
Yeah. So Sienna says, that bad Wolfie. Grrr. Aisha says, I like the costumes. We want those rolling skills. I will work on my rolling skills. Mrs. Jones, I know it. Hugh says 5 times. I think I will stick to eggheads. No, come back. You'll learn. You'll learn. It's all about looking at the body language, listening to their words, and trying to work out who is the biggest liar here. So the most honest one here, perhaps. Sorry, Elkie, you gonna say?
Yeah, Dave, or should I say JJ now, has been talking about, oh, this and that, all this and that, me. Why'd you kill me first, huh?
Do you honestly think it's personal?
I think she has a knife, so be careful.
I'll answer a question with a question.
Yeah.
I literally went, boom. Like
Okay,
number.
so
It was
a couple of
great.
other interesting
It was
things
great.
I can reveal is originally I said to JJ, you are the wolf. He then private messaged me saying K, and then he publicly said, when he didn't then give me the name, he said like apologies, and then he said 6 DB. So he said that publicly. DB, you would have been the first victim.
Yeah, you're dead, man. But I hadn't told everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, guys. So, with this, let's begin to wrap things up. Let's find out where you can find each of our performers on the old social media. Beginning with Laura H. Improviser. Holly, as you were known as today, tell the people where can they find you.
I am now the first international member of Improv Chattanooga in Tennessee. So if you are in England and want to stay up until 1 a.m., we're doing a show tonight, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can catch me on Facebook and Instagram with LauraH_improviser.
Okay, I feel a little, this is nothing against you. I feel a bit offended that you're the first you're official?
Yeah, I'm official.
You're Facebook official?
Alan Ronald is the second official.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, got the t-shirt and everything.
Diz, what are you doing? Diz, what are you doing? I've made appearances on your stuff, Diz. Why didn't I get that honour? The amount of times I've had Diz on my shows. What's going on?
Twice.
Yeah, man.
It's based on talent, guys. Sorry.
Diz, if you're watching this, we're having.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Here's a finger for you, sister.
Right. I open my shows to everyone from around the world. I welcome so many improv Chattanoogians. This is what I get, Diz. Right. Well, I'm just heartbroken. Right. Okay. Next up, let's find out. Sister Helen Highwater. Ellie, where can the people find you?
I am still Dieth. Nora changed her name. That was clever. You can find me on Facebook, Ellie Gill. You can find me on Twitter at Actress Ellie or Instagram Ellie Gill Actress GILL.
Okie dokie. Next up, our Wolf JJ. Where can the people find you?
Well, I'm on here quite a lot. I'm JJ Hassan on Facebook. Next weekend, I will be performing 2 separate shows. I think one's film noir, I don't know what the other one is, with the Vintage Improv Festival. So that's for old people like me, unlike all the rest of our performers. I am very old and ancient and sacred almost.
Okie dokie. Next up, Brenna, our Polly. Where can we find you?
Let's see. BSC Improv on Instagram. We just moved to the Twitch Theaters, the Pack Theaters Twitch channel. I'm sorry, which is awesome. And you can find me on Instagram at Bernanda Jenkins.
Yes.
If you can spell it.
Well, see, there was something a couple of weeks ago where I saw your name and it was that name, Bernanda. And I knew who you were, but for the life of me, because I'd then read that, I couldn't actually remember Brenna, and I got so confused. It was so weird. And then it was Maggie, wasn't it? She was like, so in America, we shorten names? I'm like, yeah, my name's Dave, right? But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So I looked foolish. So, next up, let's come across to our survivor of the day. D, as you're now called here.
I do improv with Improv Forum in Manchester, and we have open jams every Monday and Thursday.
Okie dokie, thank you so much. Next up, we are going to come to Tobias. DB, tell the people where can they find you.
Hey everybody, you can go Google my name, DB Frick, or you can go to Google DB Frick and Welcome Back to America. On Roku, the show's on Roku under Strong Island Entertainment. I'm actually going to be speaking with David next week. So we have a lot of guests. We get guests from around the world. And come watch the show. Welcome Back to America with DB Frick.
Okay.
I don't know how to change my name while we're on.
Okay.
I know how to change my name before.
Yeah, certainly. Next up, we're going to come across to Elkie. Where can the people find you?
You can find me pretty much every week playing with Extreme Improv since June. And if you can see below at LPTV on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of that. And also, if you follow me, you'll get an update. If you're interested, I'm teaching a workshop next Tuesday on object work. So if you're interested, it's pay what you can. So, it's not too hard on the pockets. And it's this Tuesday coming up. And follow me for updates.
Okie dokie, and DB, you have now been renamed DB Frick once more. And so I think lastly from our characters we have Danny O'George.
Hello, I'm Danny from the Pustansky experience. Sometimes I occasionally guest on the Extreme Improv crew. I don't actually have any comments with you, unfortunately. So, but you can find Pustansky experience on Facebook, facebook.com/Pustansky.
Okay, thank you so much. So for me, my name is David Pustansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at David Pustansky, which is spelled Pustansky. Just to do the wrap up for Extreme Improv, you can find Extreme Improv by searching at Extreme Improv on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, the lot. Our video channels and stuff, the places to see all these shows are youtube.com/Extreme Improv. If you've got 10 seconds and a Gmail account, or possibly even if you don't and have a YouTube account, you can click the subscribe button, which will just be just below the screen somewhere there. You can go over to twitch.tv/Extreme Improv, give us a follow if you can, give us a subscribe, and facebook.com, give us a like at Extreme Improv. If you're a performer and would like to do a future short form show, the Extreme Show, or a future episode of Revenge of the Werewolf, do get in touch with us. So having a quick look over to the comments, JJ says thanks for the support, so thanks for that comment there, JJ. Hugh says good night guys, and yeah, then everyone says well played and all the comments we had from earlier. So with that everyone, I will say goodbye from me, goodbye from everyone here, and until next time, stay safe, stay happy and stay extremed. Bye everyone, bye, and we're off the air. Well done guys.
Yay, thank you.
So much fun.
So much fun again.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
I love this.
No one got me. Not really.
JJ,